The sun is not burning. There is no fire up there, no flame, nothing a match or a furnace would recognize as combustion. And you are not watching it from a safe distance, not now, not for a single second of your life. Earth orbits inside the heliosphere, the sun's own outer atmosphere, a bubble of solar plasma that reaches past every planet in the solar system. The light on your skin is not radiation from something far away. It is weather, arriving from the inside of a star, and at the center of that star, one number governs everything. 600 million tons of hydrogen consumed every second. None of it is fire. Run the subtraction. 600 million tons of hydrogen go into the core every second, crushed together under pressure. 596 million tons come out the other side as helium. The books do not balance. 4 hydrogen nuclei weld into a single helium nucleus, and the helium weighs about 0.7% less. That missing fraction does not leak away, it does not cool, it stops being matter. 4 million tons of the sun's own substance leaves the ledger every second as pure energy. This is Einstein's equation executed at industrial scale. Mass in, light out, without pause, for 4.5 billion years. 4 million tons is a small mountain. Picture one, then delete it, and do it again 1 second later. That deletion is not fuel being spent out of a tank, it is the sun subtracting itself permanently. The warmth on the back of your hand right now is matter that no longer exists anywhere in the universe. Gravity crushes gas 8 times denser than solid gold. It is still gas, no liquid, no metal, no floor, just hydrogen squeezed until its nuclei surrender and fuse. That shell of crushed matter runs roughly 86,000 miles thick. You could line up 10 Earths across it. Temperatures there reach about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, 15 million Celsius. Heat and pressure together strip every atom bare. Bare hydrogen nuclei race through a fluid of loose electrons with nothing solid, nothing chemical left. Those nuclei slam close enough to fuse, not out of attraction, they repel, but because there is nowhere left to go. No flame, no oxygen, no combustion, just matter pressed until it surrenders part of its own mass. That surrender releases energy near the center. Getting out of the sun is a different problem entirely. Light leaves the sun's core at full speed and gets less than a millimeter before the sun stops it. The plasma is so dense that a free electron absorbs that light whole and throws it back out in a direction chosen at random. Then it happens again. And again, millions of times over, a blind stagger through the radiative zone that gains almost no ground. How long does that take? Maybe 170,000 years. The solar models disagree. That is the age of the light warming your face right now. It left the core before anyone planted wheat, before the last mammoth dropped. You stand in ancient fire, never feeling its age. Then it breaks the surface and crosses 93 million miles to Earth in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Tens of thousands of years to claw its way out of the sun, 8 minutes to cross the solar system. The sun has run that machine at full rate for billions of years. It cannot run forever. The sun has already spent half of itself. Apply its burn rate to the clock and the bookkeeping is simple. The sun is about 4.6 billion years old, sitting near the midpoint of its life. Meteorite grains from the birth of the solar system date it. Another 5 billion years of hydrogen wait inside the core. Half the hydrogen in the core has been converted to helium, and that helium does not sit there quietly. Helium is heavier, it sinks, packs tighter, and the core squeezes down and runs hotter than it did yesterday. So the sun brightens. Models put it roughly 40% brighter now than when the sun first formed 4.6 billion years ago. Nothing about this is steady. It is a controlled collapse, half finished, and it has never paused. Every second that collapse pushes energy outward, and it does not stop at the surface it escapes from. On March 13, 1989, solar plasma slammed into Earth's magnetic field and drove phantom currents through Hydro-Quebec's power lines. 90 seconds after the first relay tripped, the grid collapsed. 6 million people sat in the dark at -15 degrees Celsius. The trigger had left the sun 4 days earlier, a coronal mass ejection, a piece of the solar atmosphere torn loose and flung into the dark. Behind it, the solar wind streams outward at about 1,000,000 miles per hour, dragging the sun's magnetic field lines across the solar system. Earth swims inside that current, past Mercury, past Earth, past Neptune, and further still, out to the boundary Voyager 1 crossed in 2012. Everything inside that bubble sits in weather. A cloud like 1989's compresses Earth's magnetic field and pushes current through solid bedrock. We are not watching a distant star. We sit inside its atmosphere, and everything we run on comes from what it destroys. Every calorie you eat, every gallon you burn, every watt in your wall, it is all stored solar mass, spent by a star that never asked us. In 1859, the Carrington Event, the most intense geomagnetic storm in recorded history, set telegraph offices sparking and burning. That same strike today would land on a planet wired end to end. Roughly 5 billion years of hydrogen remain. Every warm afternoon your species has ever had fits inside a rounding error, a footnote beside the 600 million tons the sun burned while you listen to this sentence.